Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm that one nerd, Jacob.
And I'm ready to fucking go!
Hey.
Yeah!
And welcome to episode 19 of Those Nerds on
Yeah,
the Pod.
19! Yes! Yes!
Oh, what the hell are we on?
I finally
Jesus.
figured out how to fine-tune my microphone sensitivity so that I can scream at it! Yes!
I need to do that with mine, because sometimes whenever I'm screening, it'll peek out, like, yo, what the fuck? Like, it probably just peeked out there, but...
Oh yeah, heavily. It peaks like a it peaks like LeBron James.
Damn!
Yeah! Yeah! It took me a second.
Listen, I'm not even the
flaming.
biggest basketball guy, but, like, he flopped this year, dude. He flopped hard.
It's because he's old. He's old. Like, hold on, let me just Google.
He's got to be in his
LeBron
40s. Well, no,
James.
actually, hang on.
The dude
30s.
is 38 years old.
I was
He
about to
is
say-
past his prime.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I remember he got drafted 20 years ago, straight out of high school.
Yeah, it's like you've been in for 20 fucking years. You're not gonna get any better. Unfortunately, he's such a dumb fuck. He's never gonna coach anywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing with
This is all
LeBron
he
is
has.
he's got a massive fucking ego. Like, honestly, if he were to stop playing, he could easily become the best coach in the NBA ever. Ever.
I don't know. Good player does not necessarily translate to good coach.
That's fair. I said he could, not he will.
I don't know. Enough about that guy. How was your week?
So it was pretty good. It's been a little bit of a longer week for anyone who doesn't know. We're recording this like 12 hours before we're uploading it because I got busy this weekend.
Oh, he got busy, all right.
But yeah, it was a pretty good week. I am finally officially, for real this time, getting my management raise.
Yes.
Yeah, so next
Yes,
pay
get
period,
you
I'm gonna
your
start making
money.
that. Let's see. I called my dad this morning, made plans for Father's Day. He's gonna come down to Oklahoma City. We're gonna go watch the Oklahoma City Dodgers play. So there's that. Saturday, me and Summer went for a nice walk.
Oh, where'd
Yeah.
you guys walk?
So it's just a small place. It's called Central Park and More,
Mm-hmm.
which is funny because it's Central Park and the street that it's on is Broadway. But we walked a little under 2 miles just because it was very humid and uncomfortable. So there was that. We'll get used to the humidity the more that we actually, walk outside. But there
Touch
was
grass, nerd.
no, because the place we walked was on a sidewalk, even terrain, so I don't roll the fuck out of my ankle.
Is your ankle still hurting?
It doesn't hurt, but they are so flimsy. If I step on anything that's like slightly uneven, my ankle will jerk as if it's about to roll.
Dude, maybe you should go to a doctor.
Dude, maybe I should wait until open enrollment for healthcare at my job and then I'll go to a doctor.
Okay.
But yeah, so we did that. We also went swimming for the first time at our apartment, which, what's great about it, it made it to where it was a lot harder to get used to the water, but the entire pool is covered by the shade of a tree. So sunburn, highly unlikely. Very highly unlikely. So I'm just like, ooh.
There's gonna be some albino bitch that manages.
Let's see.
Oh no, a ginger's walking to the pool. No.
And then, the Friday before that is what I'll use as the lead-in for my nerd out.
Oh, okay.
All right. No, not low power mode. Fucking timer. All right. Nerd out. So, as spoiler-free as possible, because the movie just came out, Me and Summer saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse on Friday. And let me fucking tell you, peak cinema. Peak. So, first of all, I'll preface this by saying the first Spider-Verse movie is still to this date one of my favorite animated films and superhero films of all time. It got completely blown out of the water. Like, the first one was such a beautiful, well-done movie. This one added on to it and did so much more. Again, trying to be as spoiler-free as possible. Seriously, though, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, you have to do yourself justice and watch this. There's so many little nods, Easter eggs. It was fun trying to see, like... Because obviously in the trailer, they show that, you know, there's a whole headquarters full of all the spider people. So it's fun to try to see who all you can figure out, like which ones you know. There are some that it does have like the little block text at the bottom corner that says who they are. But then like the big shots where it shows all the spider people. It's fun to just look. Like, I think I saw someone pointed out that they saw it in the trailer. The Spider-Man popsicle is considered one of the official variants. You know, the one that would always have like a gumdrop eye that was like drooping down and then melting to where it looked like he was crying. That's an official thing in the movie.
The Spooderman better be in here somewhere.
I know that Insomniac Games, I wound up seeing where they put it, but somewhere in the movie, they hid gameplay for Spider-Man 2, which hasn't even released yet. So that was a really fucking cool thing. Again, there's so many nods and references. The best thing you can do if you love Spider-Man or just really love superhero movies or animated movies, is to watch it. And to give you even more incentive, it is now on IMDb the highest rated superhero movie of all time, with a 9.1 out of 10. The movie that was at a 9.0 before it, I believe, was The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises. So it has officially beat out the most popular superhero movie of all time. If that gives you any incentive to go and watch it. Like, if I really wanted to, I would totally go off on a spoiler-filled rant and rave about the movie, but I just can't. I can't. The only thing that I'm gonna say in good faith, go watch the movie. I'm so excited for the sequel, because they did announce whenever the movie first came out that it will be a two-parter. The only thing I hated about the movie is where it cut off. I felt emotionally manipulated, and honestly, I would have sat in that theater for 5 hours to watch the whole fucking movie. That is how good it was. That is how invested I was the whole time. Like, whenever it did say the to be continued, I'm not gonna say where, I'm not gonna say what made it as, like, cliffhanger as it was, but just go and watch it. You will not expect it to cut off where it does. It cuts off at a part that feels like there should not be a cutoff.
So now I'm just gonna sit there when I go see it. Though, is this the time? Is this it?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No,
like, I will save you guys the trouble though. There is no post-credit scene. There is not. You do not have to stay in the theater the whole time. There is not a post-credit scene at the end.
I come back from my watching. Yeah, the post-credit scene was really cool. It had this, and
yeah, no. I mean, I feel like the only reason they didn't do a post-credit scene is because the sequel is going to be a direct follow-up to where the movie left off. So putting a post-credit scene, I feel, would kind of ruin that. But yeah, no post-credit scene, so you can save all your theater employees the trouble of having to wait an extra 10 minutes. Let them start cleaning up early. You don't have to sit for a post-credit scene, like we did. We stayed the whole credits just for it to immediately go black and then the curtains start rolling back inwards. I'm just like, oh.
You just have the employee come out right after the credits start. There's no post-credits! Get out! Get out! Get the fuck out! Get out!
I felt bad too, because like by the time we got out, it was fucking midnight. And you could tell it was just these 3 teenagers that were just standing there waiting for everyone to leave. Like, I felt like such an asshole too, because a bunch of people started leaving as soon as the credits started. Me and Summer started nudging, just like, fake Marvel fans. And then I'm just like, oh shit. We didn't have to wait.
They probably like Googled, is there a post-credits scene?
Well, see, that would be hard to find out, though, because it released on Friday. That was release day. I mean, technically, there was the midnight screenings on, Thursday, but Friday was release day. And I think that's the first time me and Summer have watched a movie on release day in years. But I already knew there was going to be so many spoilers for it. And I'm so glad I watched it when I did, because literally the next morning, everything on social media, even like just everything across the Spider-Verse. Anyway, that's my nerd out.
Is there another Post Malone soundtrack on this one?
No, the soundtrack is mainly done by Metro Boomin.
Metro who?
I didn't know the artist either. On our walk on Saturday, I listened to the whole soundtrack so I could actually get a feel for all the songs. And I would say that out of the entire soundtrack, I only skipped 2. And that's about how many I skipped in the first soundtrack as well. So, still a solid soundtrack, but like half the songs, you have to listen to somebody in the background at the beginning of every song go, Metro!
Go what? Use your neutral voice.
Metro!
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's just the stereotypical hip-hop rap tag call-out, so...
You know who it is? Who?
That was such a... Whenever fucking Whip and Nene came out, that was such a weird thing for him to say, y'all already know who it is! No, we don't! This is your first popular song!
Who the fuck are you?
I mean, luckily, immediately after, he follows it up with Silento! Silento! That song feels like a fever dream.
Imagine trying to explain this to your kids later. It's just you go, and then you do this. And they're like, what else? Like, that's just the whole song.
And what's funny, too, is I forget if it was someone in the Discord or something, or if it was just one of the random viewers that popped in during a Twitch stream, but they talked about how the teachers forced everyone at a school assembly in elementary school to do the Whip and Nene.
We're doing the nay.
Like, literally forced them. I'm like, just imagine a group of, like, panicked 8-year-olds being like, hey, yo, nay before you get whooping. Nay before you get whooping.
Just thank God nobody did that when Gangnam Style came out.
Oh, dude, that was my shit back in elementary school, dude.
At first, I didn't understand that Gangnam Style is how I discovered what K-pop is.
Yeah, same.
Because people were like, yeah, it's Korean pop. I mean, you mean like from the war? That's all I knew about Korea. Is at one point we killed a bunch of communists in the 50s. That's all I knew about Korea. Oh, my wife just messaged me on Discord.com. Apparently, she found 9 diamonds in the mines. So that's happening.
Hell yeah.
The economy is strong on my Christian Minecraft server.
I was about to say, maybe in Minecraft, but in real life...
Everything keeps getting more expensive.
Yeah,
well.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole. That's not what this... We're not about that kind of stuff in this podcast. We'll make jokes about it, but we don't... No, don't you dare!
It's about the economy.
No!
Just like, we need to return to the Austrian economic system. This fiat currency bullshit just goes off.
God. That's amazing.
The best part about the Austrian economic system is that the Austrians don't even fucking use it anymore. Because I'm just like, strange.
All right, so you asked me how my week was. How was your week?
My week was decent. I took remember how you said during leave you wanted to take the Army Combat Fitness test?
Yeah, I saw that you took that. I saw on your Snapchat story.
I took the Army Combat Fitness
How'd
test.
you score?
Out of 600, I got a 522.
That's pretty fucking good.
Yep. It's not what I wanted, but it's good. I wanted a 540 out of 600 because you know, once you get that, you can pretty much go to any school you want and say "give me," and they'll give you a slot.
Fair, but I mean, hey, 522. That's probably better than I'm gonna do whenever we do it
Yeah.
for me.
What really surprised me is when I ran 2 miles in 17 minutes and 30 seconds. That's an 8:45 mile. When you're my size, I was hauling it. I was like, I remember when I got to the halfway point, which was a mile, and then we turned around and ran back, and I was
Uh-huh.
just like, oh, I'm dying. And the worst part is that we did a road that looks like it's slightly straight, but it's actually slightly downhill. It's like
Oh.
a slight downhill. So when you're going down, you're kind of zooming, but then the whole way back is just a slight uphill. So I was just like, oh, oh, oh. And then I passed a couple of people. I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
And then they pass you, and you're like, no, no, no.
There were literally my command sergeant major, who is 45 and has been in the army for over 20 years,
Get on
ran
his
the two
level, LeBron.
ran the 2 mile in 15 minutes and 30 seconds. My first sergeant, who is an E8 and has been in the army for 22 years on the dot,
Uh-huh.
ran it in 11 minutes and 15 seconds. He is 45.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
So
like, how?
no,
How?
keep on. God damn. Okay. So I'm looking at our pace, right?
Yeah.
And our average pace was 18:55 a mile,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't bad considering we were walking.
Mm-hmm.
But hearing about like 15-minute shit in 2 miles, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god.
If you get under 12 minutes, that means you ran faster than a 6 minute mile.
Jeez.
That's like what? Honestly, out of the two events that I did poorest in the sprint drag carry, which is where you sprint stuff, you drag stuff, and you carry stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
apparently she found 15 now. So 9 plus 6 for a total of 15.
But what's
Just
9 plus 10?
21.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, the sprint drag carry, I did all of that in a minute and 53 seconds, which is 80 points out of 100 on the dot. And a 1730 is 78 points on the dot, and those were my two worst events. Everything else I got like at least more than 78.
Here I am. I'm probably going to be struggling to break 400 whenever we do it.
Honestly, the only thing that I'm like, how the hell are we gonna do this is
Sprint
is
drag carry.
well, yeah, the sprint drag carry, because I'm like, where am I gonna find a sled? And even if I do find a sled, where am I gonna
How am I going to
take
weigh
you?
this sumbitch down?
And then it's also the hex bar deadlift. I'm like, does God's gym even have a hex bar?
I
It's
don't
like,
think so.
would we go in there?
Yeah,
But,
whenever
and
I used to go there, I do not remember Brian having that there.
I'm just like, if we go in there and do the AC, there's a little field, and then I'd have to figure out where 2 miles is. I guess I could just, since you get a 10-minute break in between the plank and the 2 mile, I could just drive you down to the track.
Yeah, I
And
was
that
about
would
to say
be
we could probably just go to the track and then what? Isn't the outer ring of the track, you just have to do it 3 or 4 times and that's 2 miles?
4 times, and that's 2 miles.
Okay.
Wait, no, four times is
Oh, four
one
times is
mile.
1 mile. Yeah, so it'll be eight
So
times around that.
you've got to do that 8 times.
I
So
need
good
to
luck
get a
with
good
that.
pair of running shoes. The only shoes that I have are Vans and
Oh.
Converse.
My running shoes are $173, and I only wear them when we go on runs. They're Swiss. They're made in Switzerland. They're called Ons. Those are the only pairs of running shoes that I use because um because they have this version where it's made for like heavier dudes, because the Swiss Yeah, yeah. I've literally spent so much on boots and shoes. Like those are what I spend my money on because you need it in the army. Otherwise, your feet are fucked up, and if your feet are fucked up, life is so much harder.
Oh,
Like
trust
my
me, I
boot.
know. That's why I have to have inserts on my work shoes since I'm standing for up to 10 hours a day. Like, I can't do
My,
it without inserts.
My boots were $193. My shoes were $173. I wear a different pair. I wear an older pair of shoes whenever I go to lift weights in the gym because they've become flat and stuff, and they weren't really good running shoes to begin with. But I didn't know the difference until I put on the Ons. I use their heavy runners made, which dude, they're so nice. They're literally made for heavier set dudes, and it literally forces me to land on the balls of my feet when I run because of the way the shoe's designed. It's
Hell
really
yeah.
nice. My time, I literally, when I wore them for the first time, I literally shaved 3 minutes off of my 3 mile time. And I was like, "What happened?" I'm like, "These shoes are so nice."
And see, that's
My
why I don't want to hear people say that new shoes don't make you run faster. I swear to God, every time I would get new shoes in high school or middle school and I'd run and be like, Dad, I'm faster, he'd be like, no, it's just because you feel lighter because you have new shoes. No, shoes can fucking do that.
Yeah, and the thing is that in order to stretch out as much shoe as I possibly can out of my running shoe, I literally only wear them if we go on runs. I don't wear
Yeah.
them for anything else. I literally wore them in the ACFT. I wore my white shoes for the deadlift, and then when the running event started, I changed shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Anything else happened this week or really just the ACFT?
the ACFT was the big one because I've been training I've been training for 3 months for that ACFT to try and improve my score.
Yeah. You bullied your son.
I did bully my son. I kept constantly hitting him with a pillow.
And before anyone asks, I've seen the video. It's not like he's whacking the shit out of him. I don't want anyone to think that Caleb abuses his son. It was like just a light little, like a little love tap. And you could tell that Leon was laughing about it, so he enjoyed it.
Oh yes, my son is at that. He's only 10 months old, and he already figured out that hey, I can annoy these guys by doing stuff that they don't want me to do, like touching the blinds and trying to eat myself off the couch.
Oh no!
Like literally, he'll go to touch the blinds right behind the couch, and we'll go no, and he'll go. And then try to touch it. And it's like, you little shit! You know what you're doing!
That's great.
You fucker! Stop being like me! Get over here!
There's another thing that happened this week for both of us, right?
What happened to both of us?
Over on twitch.tv/thatonenerdjacob, I streamed some Jackbox, right? And, you know, it said food, water, and shelter may be the 3 essential living things, but what are actually? So, I typed my answers. I typed cock, balls, cum, and I'm like, okay, I'm confident. The answer comes up. First one, cock, balls, cum. I'm like, okay, cool. Mine was the first one. Second one comes up, cock, balls, cum, in the exact order. And the thing is, it was Quiplash 3, so the final one, you put in 3 separate answers. So, the fact that we put in the exact same order, cock, balls, and cum.
Yeah, baby!
I still need to upload that clip to social media. Like, I think 3 people clipped it whenever I asked people to clip that.
It's like, what the everybody was like, what? The cock, balls, cum.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. How did we manage that?
To be fair, there were a lot of dick jokes made that day.
Still.
I mean, yeah, still, like the fact that we put in the exact same order, cock, balls, cum, word for word, bar for bar.
Spelled exactly the same. All the capses were still the same. It was all lowercase. And we literally, in the exact same cadence, we were just like, cock, And I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, okay, there's my answer. And then when the first answer was cock, I was like, what? Balls, what? Come, what?
But yeah, I want to start uploading clips to social media and stuff, so I started writing down like approximate timestamps of where stuff is. So the only thing in this journal right now is cock, balls, cum, approximately 2 hours and 50 minutes in. Or, you know, since like 3 people clipped it, I can just use one of those and call it good. But yeah, that was our shared experience for the weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
What time is your summer bash? Is that July 1st?
Yes, so I might as well talk about it here. July 1st, Midsummer Bash on twitch.tv/that one nerd Jacob. And I swear to
How do you
God,
spell that?
if I catch any of you motherfuckers watching Money in the Bank, I'm banning you. Listen, okay, I wanted it to be like oh yeah, this will be cool. The last thing I was expecting was, while watching Clash of Champions, at least what I did watch of it, to see an ad for Money in the Bank live from England in the O2 Arena July 1st, literally in the middle of my all-day stream. I just sat there and thought to myself, I'm like, God damn, I can't change this now. Like, I mean, I could if I really wanted to, but at the same time, like, I know the people that would watch aren't the biggest wrestling fans. It would be more for my sake than anything to watch Money in the Bank, but I can always watch it, you know, the next day.
Just typing all of the spoilers in the chat.
I swear to God, if someone does wind up doing that, I will time a fucker out. If they spoil one match, I'm just gonna be like, okay, timed out.
Brock Lesnar just pulled off Cody's cock and shoved it down his throat. Enter.
Kinky. But yeah, no, like, as soon as I saw that announcement, I'm just like, shit. But anyway, stream schedule is always subject to change. But for anyone watching that is interested, first of all, we will be doing a episode of the podcast live every time I do one of these all-day streams, which this will only be the second time that I've done one with the podcast being around. We always try to do a live episode, so that way we can see Twitch chat and react to people live. So starts at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, for anybody interested. And the way things are lined up, it's probably going to go till about 10 or 11. So plenty of events. The events right now, for those interested, we've got the podcast live. We've got Advance Wars Reboot Camp, Jackbox Party Packs, Mario Party Superstars, and Dead by Daylight. That's the event schedule.
What are we doing on the podcast, Jacob?
First, so if you wanna start watching the live stream at the very beginning of the stream and then stop watching the rest of it, perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. But 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, live, July 1st, 2023. Saturday, July 1st, 2023. Be there for the live. The only thing that I'm not looking forward to with the live podcast is I still think that the first episode of the live podcast that I uploaded to YouTube only has 2 views.
Yeah. The thing is that what are we going to be doing for that episode, for that live podcast?
Oh
episode?
shit, that's what you meant. So, me and Caleb had this idea a while ago. Now, obviously, once a month, I do Try Not to Laughs on my Twitch channel. And
I love them. I love them. They're my favorite.
Do you? Because the only person that uploaded to the new thread is Izzy.
There's a new thread?
I literally pinged everyone this morning. I'm like, hey, I forgot to do it last week, so we're going to do it before Smash Out 5 this Saturday.
Oh, so I had no idea because I was pretty much working all day and I didn't get to look at my phone.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, so me and Caleb, this was like, I mean, I'm not going to say we disagree on ideas, but like normally ideas that come from us are, I spitball an idea at Caleb, we sort of put our own group spin on it and then do it, or then Caleb spitballs an idea at me, put a group spin on it, do it. Like, most of the time, it's something where it's like one person thought of it. But this is something we both thought of. We are going to do a competitive try not to laugh. And the thing is, this has been something that we've been planning to do for months. Caleb, I have been saving every meme that I think you will laugh at since March.
Well, hot damn, Jacob. But as for me, I have to get a whole new set after this one coming up. I see what you're doing. You are making an unfair home and field advantage.
I've played the system.
However, you have forgotten my line of work. I can shut down my emotions anytime I want. My son could be crying in agony, and the most he could get from me is...
For any audio listeners, Caleb is making the most blank, expressionless, dead face you could ever imagine.
Indeed.
Yeah, Caleb, I'm just saying, like, I've seen you. You've tried to turn off your emotions near me. Granted, this was before you had, full military training. And eventually you break. You're good for a few minutes, but eventually you break. I'm easy to break. I'm talking about you. You're the one being like, you forget my line of work. I have always broken you whenever I try to get you to laugh. Always. Why the fuck are we cutting a promo on each other right now?
So we're gonna just every week is a shit talking about the 1v1. Just
we need to do that. That needs to be like a running bit until Midsummer Bash every week on the podcast.
I'm gonna give you so many fucking giggles. You're gonna be like hee hee hoo hoo, and I'm just gonna be like. Just that Easter Island headstone face.
You see, you take your 50-50 chance and subtract 33 and a third.
No! He went to higher education.
Senor Joe! The word spelled disaster for you. Oh my god.
You see, if y equals mx plus b, you are the b because you're the bitch, and I am the x because x gon' give it to you.
You see, if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then I am c squared because I'm gonna see to it that you lose.
That's just a theorem. I am proven.
Dude, doing this though, I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but do you remember my junior year how I got you to be a guest for my WWE speech in junior English?
Yeah, I remember that. You hit me with a stone cold stunner.
So, for anyone, I forget if I've mentioned it on the podcast before. If I have, I'm sorry. I'm about to retell a story. So, where we went to high school, the junior English teacher, I forget her name, but she was a very lovely lady. Miss Lamberson. That's it. So Miss Lamberson every year has her students do a speech in the style of a WWE promo. And it makes sense because, like, that's a form of creative writing, cutting a promo. Well, you see, everyone else cut promos as if they were, like, already big superstars. Like, I had one kid in the same class, I was like, my name is John Cena. Very emotionless. I remember I went into school. First of all, this is whenever I still have my replica WWE championship. And I hid it underneath my jacket so no one would understand. And I had to talk to the teacher beforehand. I'm like, hey, can I go on first? Because, my buddy Caleb, who's going to be helping me with the speech, has a wrestling tournament thing to go to.
I literally was in a wrestling promo, and then I went to a wrestling tournament.
The funny thing about it, she was willing to give us 15 minutes of class because she thought we were going to have a fucking match in her classroom. She's like, I already got it taken care of. Everyone else said that their speeches should be short, so you have the first 15 minutes of class all to yourself. And I'm like, 15. I'm maybe 3 at the most. So
we don't talk. We don't. It's like, what move? Am I just gonna suplex him on your fucking floor? What do you want from me?
So I go in early, like 5 minutes early, before the first bell even rings for people to start going to class. And I talk to her. I'm like, hey, so I have theme music. I have sort of an entrance thing I'm gonna do. She's like, you've really got this thought through. I'm like, you literally gave this assignment to the best person for the job. So
I am going to blow all these other fucks out of the water. I'm pitying the fool who follows me.
So I prepare the music, everyone else gets into class, and then I just step out into the hallway. And she, without a beat, like, as soon as the morning announcements are over, because I stay out there for the morning announcements just to, like, build up suspense. And then as soon as the morning announcements are over, boom, the music starts to hit. And then I bust in.
Which was your theme? Which theme did you use?
So this was the theme of Infinite from Sonic Forces. This was after, I still have that
I still have that
I still do too. Playlist. Like, it is still, if I do ever start wrestling, I still want to use that. But that starts playing. I come in and now the jacket's off. The title is exposed. I have now revealed myself for the nerd that I am. I walk into class and so it starts off. I have it on my waist. As soon as I get into class and before I start my speech, I unclip the belt, throw it over my shoulder, champion pose. And the great thing about this too, everyone else had to read their speech, like their promo, off of paper. I had that shit memorized. Line for fucking line. Okay? I went in there, cut a promo. My promo takes maybe a minute and a half. Then, afterwards, Caleb comes in. And during the whole promo...
My music hits.
Well, I didn't tell her your music. She just played my music again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I forgot to tell her that you had music. So whenever you came in, she just played mine again on repeat. But the entire promo, I'm calling out Caleb, basically building up as if we have a match. Caleb walks in, we both look at each other, and we just start punching each other in the face. Like, obviously, it's wrestling punches, so we're not going full force, you know? But, like, we just start punching each other in the fucking face. And then I remember this part of the promo going, I tell Caleb, we plan this whole thing out. We choreograph it. I'm like, during the punches, I want you to shove me down as hard as possible. He shoved me, and my back hit the fucking desk in the front row of the class. Like, that is how hard he shoved me.
He took it like a fucking champ.
Oh, yeah. Like, I sold it. I acted like I hit my head a little bit, and then Caleb's going over there, like, holding his hands above his head. And then, as Caleb said, I hit him with the stunner. I turn him around real fast, kick him in the stomach, and then just, like, as seamlessly as possible, drop into the stunner, immediately get back up, look down at him, and then just slowly raise my title over my head. And I remember, after Caleb left the class, everyone looks at me, and one kid just points, he's like, how the hell are we supposed to top that?
My man took a whole Stone Cold Stunner.
I got a 110 for that assignment.
Yeah. Those extra 10 points were from me for DU.
Dude, the part that I love...
She's gonna tell that story to every class she ever has. She's like, I had this one guy's come in, they just started actually having a wrestling fight right there. He got shoved into a fucking desk and then he hit him with a stunner.
My favorite part of that story, though, is the fact that she was willing to give us 15 minutes. Again, it's as if she wanted an entire match to happen in her class.
I'm gonna be honest. I tried. Whenever you got shoved at the desk, I didn't sell it, but my eyes just went, just for a split second, just ooh.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you did it like a champ, because, like, I told you to push me at full force. Whenever I hit the desk, I just started thinking, I'm like, oh, I don't think he meant to go that hard.
I was just like, you said as hard as you can, so I'm just like, here we go. That's fun. And here it comes.
I remember the whole day for the rest of the school day, too. I just walked around with the championship in the fucking hallways, took it to tech with me, everything.
You took it to technical school.
Well, this was before I had my permit to park on premises of Tech, and the way
Mhm.
that Tech had been structured that year is like, or the way Manford had been structured that year. If you left campus, you weren't allowed to come back on because they were afraid of people spiking drinks. So I couldn't go home and drop it off, and I didn't want to leave it in my car. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm a champion today, baby.
Did the tech professor say anything to you?
I remember he walked in, starts looking over the class like he always does, and then he did a double take to my spot. He's like, "What is that?"
It's just like, okay, everybody. Oh shit! We got a champion in the ring.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, I follow him on TikTok too. He doesn't. His last day at Tech was last week. He
Oh,
taught for 10 years, and he is now the I believe the lead communications professor at OSU.
good for him.
Yeah, no, like I'm happy, but like especially whenever I saw the last video, in that tech class, we had a thing called Photopia, which was literally just real life experience points for assignments you turn in. And whenever he took the Photopia sign in his last video and then turned the light off and let the door shut behind him, dude, I was actually starting to tear up while watching that in bed. I'm just like, oh,
Oh,
oh, you're for real right now?
oh
And
God.
I remember commenting, I'm like, not the Photopia sign. He's like, I couldn't leave that bit behind. And I'm just like, ah!
Cries in peaked mic.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I did a test just to see how much my fine tuned mic could handle.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you, after I messed around with the settings, I got so much more like highs in here. Unfortunately, that also means that the chances of you guys hearing my fucking crying baby are, higher, but he's not crying right now. If he does, there's nothing a good old, cotton pillow right over the
Yeah.
Don't smother children.
Please don't. Please don't. This was a
Not
joke.
not even with affection. You'll spoil them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I know that I need to adjust the mic settings for in here because for anyone who doesn't know, Summer, my fiance, also streams, and we stream with the exact same setup. So my voice is relatively high,
Hmm.
but obviously hers is higher. So there's a lot more times I'll be watching her streams, and obvious stuff that should be hearable just gets cut off. It sucks.
Yeah. Her streams would be a lot more enjoyable if, when she screams like a little girl, I could hear it.
I could hear it and then point at the screen and then laugh.
I love the love-hate relationship I have with Summer.
Fair. Fair. I'm pretty sure she does too.
It's not quite her and Daniel levels of love-hate.
Yeah. I think her and Dan are probably like of my friends that I've, met first, are the two that have gotten the closest.
Hmm.
To the point where like she will openly just joke about Dan's kids, like Charlotte, calling her Chartlet.
To be fair, if you ever come up with a clever mocking name for Leon, Peon, there we go. But if you call them stuff like that, I would be totally 100% behind you. I'd
Fuck
be like,
yeah.
"Oh, you don't like that? You don't like that name, son? Kick his ass."
Do it, pussy.
You just fucking boot him in the chest when he comes running at you. Oh shit.
Dude, okay, so I'm
Yeah.
excited. You want to know why?
Yes. Why are
So
you excited?
obviously, I already said it. I'm done with Majora's Mask. It's just not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm not having fun because I have to look at a guide every 3 minutes or ask chat what to
Jake,
do, and at that point, I'm not playing the game.
Jake has been defeated by squares.
Yep, I've been defeated by 64-bit polygons. But I put up a vote because I'm like, okay, yeah, this was a single player game that you guys voted on. It wouldn't be fair for me to just pick whatever I want and not play a game that you guys chose. So I put up a vote. Currently winning.
See the result of this vote.
Currently winning. It goes until Thursday, but I've already preemptively put my stream schedule and put that game just because it's in such a large lead. It's Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp for the Nintendo Switch, and I figured, what better way to play it on stream than to play on the challenge mode? You know, hard mode. I played on casual difficulty just so I could unlock everything faster, but I remember playing the games as a kid, and they were hard. I am so excited to play Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp hard mode on stream.
I voted for that, by the way.
Yeah, let's see. Everyone that voted for that, there was Avery, Dan, Colton, you, and Josh. And
you
then,
can see who votes?
Yeah, you just see who all used the reaction. I'm kind of surprised you didn't vote for Minecraft, because you're allowed to vote for multiple.
What?
That's why I said, like, if there's a tie, like, I know Summer voted for 2. I typically allow people to vote for multiple options until it hits a tie, and then I'm like, hey, you have to pick one now. Like, obviously, don't overdo it and vote for every single game, because then that kind of ruins the purpose of you voting.
I just shit on everybody and vote for it, and just write in Majora's Mask.
Well, see, there is an option. It says, other. Ping me in general. I must own it, or it must be free on console. Summer already brought that up. Whenever I said I was going to put an other option, she's like, what if people just put Majora's Mask again? I'm like, then I'm not fucking playing it. I'll go with second place then. I don't give a fuck.
Second place was also Majora's Mask.
Everyone just
voted for Majora's Mask.
I'm just saying, whenever we do get to doing the tier list of the N64 library, I am going to be so fucking harsh on Majora's Mask. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, this might be one of the games that I use one of my 2 I get to pick exactly where it goes on. I think it's a bad game. I genuinely think it's a bad game. The entire internet believes it as a classic. Playing it, fucking miserable. If you didn't play it as a kid and you don't remember where everything is now, I don't have a lot of patience. I like playing games where it's like, yeah, I put in some effort, but then I get a reward pretty quickly. This one, it is all effort, no reward, everything's fucking confusing. Like, obviously don't point everything out to me, right? But like, that's what I like about the modern 3D Zelda games. It's like they have little waypoints, like little markers on where you need to go on the map. But then you can still fucking explore! With Majora's Mask, it feels like you have to explore to also find fucking nothing!
I was watching you play Majora's Mask, and I was like, I don't think he's having fun right now. I'm gonna play a short.
See, here's how you can tell if I'm having fun with the game. If I'm commentating, now the option for that could also be like if I'm doing Smash Out and I'm in the tournament. Obviously, if I'm playing, I'm not gonna talk because I'm trying to focus. But if it's a game where I don't really have to focus, if I'm not commentating, that means I have nothing good to say or nothing funny to say about the situation. I'm not having fun. Or if I constantly just like look down at my phone, it means I'm having to look at a guide. And like, don't get me wrong, guides do have their place in video games, right? I can respect...
Like, where are all the keys? I need to find all of the keys in order to get this blue hat. I want that blue hat. And to get blue hat, I need all the keys.
Yeah, like with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. For the legendary quartet in the game, there are stakes that you have to pull out of the ground all across the map. That might be hard to do. But that is not a core gameplay requirement! I can understand. Look, I've already done it myself. I've looked up a guide on where to find the stakes because I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Now I want to get the legendaries after I've beaten the game. Don't make your game hidden behind archaic bullshit. If you're having to look at a guide, I think I remember Majora's Mask came with a guide. If you have to have a guide for a game, that is where your game fails. If your game is too archaic and hard to understand, especially in the case of Majora's Mask, like, it's rated E for everyone, and it was in the N64 era, which means, guess who's playing it? Children! Children! But, like, if I, a 22-year-old man, by no means am I saying that I'm the smartest 22-year-old. I am very stupid. But if I, a 22-year-old man, have to look up a guide every 3 minutes, the game fucking sucks!
You have had the worst fucking luck with Nintendo 64 games.
Dude, I remember on YouTube playing Mario 64. At first I was like, yeah, this is good. And then the second half of the game started. And I'm just like, man, I wish Mario controlled like a normal fucking video game character.
Makes you wonder about all those speedrunners that just go...
Honestly, I feel like any Mario 64 speedrunner has contemplated suicide at least once.
A day.
A day.
Once a day.
Like, there is no way that you can be, like, just like, I see, you're a Mario 64 speedrunner. Woohoo! I bet you have a great mental health. No.
Actually, no. This stupid fucking Italian.
But, like with the newer, I guess I can say newer, but, like, all the other 3D Mario games after that, they point things out, but they don't make it too obvious. Where it's like, oh, you still have to explore to get it, but there's a hint that's good enough to get you into the right place.
Hey, dumbass!
Like, fucking Majora's Mask, the last time I played it, and the last time I'm probably gonna play it, to get the hot springs, right? Whenever you get the Goron mask, you have to pull the, sort of like gravestone statue thing of, you know, the basically dead god Goron. Nowhere is it insinuated that you need to do that. There's no one that says anything like that. Nothing insinuates that you can even pull it. Like, on the back, you have to walk right up to it before it gives you the option to grab and pull. Like, just looking at it, most people are going to be like, I bet I got to pull this for hot water to come out so I can unfreeze things. No, people are going to look at that and be like, that's a gravestone. Rest in peace. What the fuck?
This fucker dead.
Yeah, no, like, I had to look up a guide, and then it's like, yeah, you gotta pull that out of the way, and I'm just like, where the fuck does it say that? I was reading the text. I was reading the whole time he was talking to me, and I do not remember a single instance where he's like, hey, yo, pull my gravestone and you'll get hot water.
Bruh, I'm dead.
Bruh, Anyway, we're at 53 minutes. Do you have a nerd out?
No.
Oh, fair enough. Pull a trap card.
I activate my trap card. Oh. Describe one of your most embarrassing moments from childhood as an adult.
From childhood. Okay, well, so 12 years old is still a child. So
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
for anyone watching or listening, this is going to be very disgusting. I am going to be talking about de poo-poo. So, we had just moved back to Oklahoma from New Mexico. Uh, at this point, we're living with my sister and her now husband and their son. Just because we had moved back, we didn't really have a place in mind, and we're just like, fuck it. They're willing to let us live with them while we look for places. So, at this point in time, in the house that they only had one working bathroom. This will be important to the story later. So, about a week later, or like a week after we had moved in and everything got situated, we wanted to go out to eat. We wanted to go out. And, you know where Yale is, right? Yale, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it's like a tiny fucking town with only like maybe 2 restaurants?
Yep.
So, I think this is the name of it, Chavo's Mexican Restaurant. We had eaten there once, whenever we were visiting, and it was fucking delicious. Like, I highly recommend it. Yale is such a small town, but there's like the Dairy Hut, which is great burgers, and then there's Chavo's Mexican Restaurant, which I do, even after this story, highly recommend. So we go there, and I remember last time I'm like, okay, I liked the like enchiladas with the red sauce on top. So I wound up getting that again. And, we're all eating. I think, actually, no, this wasn't shortly after we had moved in. This was like a few weeks before my birthday. This was supposed to be sort of like a birthday dinner. I remember now. Because I remember my now brother-in-law Randy asking, how's it feel to be 13? And then laughing as if that was the best fucking joke of all time. So we're eating, and then we get in the car ride back. And from Merrimack, population, probably about 10, to Yale, it's about maybe a 15-minute drive, not too bad. Halfway through, Caleb, you know how my shits hit me. They don't ease in like most people where it's like, oh man, I might have to go soon. It's like, oh man, I feel fine I have to go to the bathroom. So
this man is shitting.
So we get about halfway there, and I'm like, oh god, I gotta use the bathroom. And we took 2 separate cars, because I think there was a group of like 8 or 9 people that went. So we took 2 separate cars. Well, the car with my brother-in-law gets there first, and he immediately runs into the bathroom. And I don't realize this until I go inside and realize that the bathroom's locked. They have an outhouse in the field, maybe 50 yards away from the front door.
Oh boy.
I had just gotten new clothes for the semester, and I decided to wear them that night. I'm like, fuck it, So, I'm like trying not to sprint, but I'm like at a moderate pace going over there. And halfway between the front door and the outhouse, I feel a little something start trickling down the back of my leg.
Oh no.
And then, because the floodgates had slightly cracked, they completely busted open, and I fucking diarrhea shit my pants. My brand new fucking like $40 jeans. So
$40?
See, my sister was the type of person that's like, no, don't buy him Walmart clothes, Dad. They'll make him look like an old man. I say is now pretty much 99% of my clothes come from Walmart.
Same.
So, yeah, she convinced him to basically go to like a low-end designer store to get me jeans. So anyway, I shit my pants. And I make it to the outhouse. And, I'm in there for like 20 minutes. My dad comes out there. Hey, are you okay? Dad, I need new pants. What? I'm like, I need new pants and I need you to turn on the water hose so I can spray off the back of my leg. He's like, you didn't. I'm like, I did. And I ask him, I say, what should I do with these? I don't think we should keep them. And it's an outhouse, so he's like, oh yeah, just throw the old underwear into the outhouse, like into the toilet part. And see, I thought he was insinuating to also throw the jeans.
No! The jeans could have been saved!
So
No!
I completely strip out of the jeans and the underwear, and I throw them in the hole of the outhouse.
Oh, buddy.
And I wind up coming out, spraying off my leg, putting the new stuff on, and my sister's like, "Where are your jeans?" I'm like, "I had to throw them in the outhouse. I pooped in them." She's like, I could have cleaned those." And it is now a joke to this day, like 10 years later. Like, even my nephew will say it. He'll be like, "Hey, I'll get you a fishing rod if you go fish those pants out of the outhouse." That's probably the most embarrassing story from my childhood ever. And now it's out in the open on the internet on Those Nerds on a Podcast.
I have quite a few embarrassing stories as a kid.
Name your one, like, most embarrassing that you can think of.
Let's see, that answer would change depending on the day and what I'm thinking about in that current situation. Because I've done a lot of embarrassing shit that I'm just sitting there thinking about at night going.
Okay, well, what is it today then? What's the embarrassing thing today?
It was the 7th grade. I was 12 years old.
I diarrhea shit my pants.
I was brand spanking new to Manford, Oklahoma. I hadn't been there yet, so I didn't know a lot of people, right? So when you're like in middle school in like the 7th grade, and people start dating, quote unquote.
Yeah, they're like loosely dating. Yeah, I know.
So there was this lady called Sierra Hagar.
No.
So the thing is that I didn't know Sierra that well, but they were like, hey, Caleb, Sierra likes you. Giggle, 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 giggle. I look over, I see Sierra, like, she's kind of pretty. Anyway, that's all I knew about her. And that's all I knew about her. So I was just like, she's kind of pretty. And I go back to continuing my stuff. And then I didn't understand what quote unquote dating really was, like really actually was, until the 9th grade. Like I was one of those guys, and even then I wasn't the best at it.
Same.
Fucking obviously, but if you look at my fucking track record,
damn.
But it was one of those deals where I didn't quite know Sierra very well, like at all. Like I barely knew her face, and this is where it gets a little complicated. Because if you'll remember, there was another pale, black-haired lady named Shayla, and I thought they were the same person.
Are you talking about Colton's sister?
Maybe. Was she my age? Has black hair down to here? Hazelish eyes? Yep, that's Shayla.
Hang on. Let me keep telling your story. I'm going to look up her profile and then send you a picture and see if it's the same person.
Yeah, if that's Shayla, and I didn't realize that she was Colton's sister, and if she is, holy shit, this is about to get so much worse because Colton listens to the goddamn podcast.
Yeah, like, let me find a picture before she dyed her hair, because I think she has dyed her hair recently.
Did she dye it white again?
Now it's like brown with blonde tips.
Brown. Was it slightly reddish at one point, like right when we were around 18, 19?
I have no idea. I'm sending you a picture of her now, and I want you to tell me if that is the same person.
On Discord or on phone?
iMessage.
iMessage. Yep.
Oh my god, it was Colton's sister! Oh shit! Oh my god!
So I thought that she and Sierra were the same person. This is where it gets good. You see, because at one point Shayla had to put a cast on her arm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that her and Sierra are the same person, and we're quote unquote dating.
Oh
I
my god.
I wrote, and I quote, "I heart the letter U, Caleb," on that cast. Because I thought her and Sierra were the same person in the 7th grade. I've never told a soul this before. My wife doesn't know this story. My brother Tristan doesn't know this story. Nobody, my mom doesn't know this story. Nobody else
And
does.
now it's out in the open on Those Nerds on a Podcast. Hang on, please tell me there's more. We're over time, but I have to hear how this one ends. I have to.
You know, do you remember how we would go out to the grass and we would wrestle
Yes.
on the hill?
Yeah, 100%. That was a thing. I remember we used to also go to the big stairs and do like a Royal Rumble thing.
I'm fighting off Ricky Keeling and Antonio Villegas at the same time because they're trying to push me down the hill.
Yeah.
Right? And this is before everyone was like, "Oh, they're pushing him down." Completely, that's the whole point of the game. Is to trip them and then push them down the hill.
It was 100% a voluntary thing. Everyone that did it knew what they were getting into.
If you didn't want to play, there were whole other areas where they didn't mess with you.
Yeah.
But I'm fending them off, and then I look over, and they're like, "Hey, Caleb." I look over, they're both standing right there. I don't remember what I said because I was fending off Ricky and Antonio. All I remember is I said the wrong thing. And to this day, I don't know if these two remember it or at all. But yeah. I somehow tried to play it off as platonic or something. I think that's what I did. Because I looked over and like, oh, these are two different women. Whoops. Meanwhile, Antonio's trying to double leg me and throw me down a hill. So I was just like, I have multiple things I'm not prepared to deal with right now. So yeah, and then ironically, Sierra was my date to 8th grade formal, and then Jeffrey Schaefer stole her the same night. So I guess there's my karma for that one.
Fucking Schaefer! I know, I fucking know Schaefer because he was the resident fuckboy.
Ironically, he was dating Charity right before I started dating her and then married her, so I stole his girl back.
Ironically, I think he lost his virginity behind a church during service.
Wow. Wow.
Unless there's two different Schaefers that went there, I remember...
There was one Schaefer, and wow.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's yeah.
Holy fucking shit!
Like if you look, like people who are watching this video, look back and you'll see me realize, should I tell this story? And you'll just see me contemplating telling this story as you're telling yours, and then I'm just like, he told a shit story. I've got to tell something.
He told
good
a
too.
story about him diarrhea shitting his $40 jeans and then throwing them down the hole of an outhouse.
I'm like, I've gotta come in with the same level. So here we go.
God damn. Yeah, no, I've never heard that story. Jesus Christ.
Never told a soul.
God damn.
Because I knew that if that story ever got out, nobody would ever want to be around me ever again. My entire middle school career, gone. My entire high school career, gone.
And now you're an adult and married, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I know. But I was just like, oh. Actually, I actually feel a lot lighter now that I've gotten that off of my chest.
Dude, there's something about just like talking about deep shit like that. Like, I also feel a little bit lighter after telling the poop story, probably because of how much shit that I lost. Wow.
Yeah.
Sister?
I was that fucking autistic in middle school, I guess. Or just like, huh, I guess these two women are the same person.
Yes, they both have dark hair about the same length, and they look slightly similar in the face. Same woman.
No, yeah, I'm that bad about it sometimes. You should see me around all the different fucking people who are Mexican, and they all kind of look similar. I just like Hernandez, and then I turn around and their name tape is not Hernandez. I'm just like, shit.
Oh, and then they promptly beat the shit out of you.
No, they're just like, Collins, wrong Mexican. And then they just keep moving on with the. It's just, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My only excuse sometimes is because I'm looking at them from the back of the head.
Yeah.
So that's my only saving grace is like I was looking at the back of my head before.
Well,
I'm so bad with names and faces, man. I am so fucking bad. I'm so bad. Oh god, this is coming out tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh,
Coming out
gosh.
in, as of right now, at the time of the ending of the recording here, 9 hours.
I'm not ready. Oh well.
Well, this has been an eventful 1 hour and 11-minute long episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. Sorry if you've lost respect for either one of us, but also, I can't blame you.
Kayla and Sierra, if you're out there, subscribe to the podcast.
Not even, I'm sorry, just subscribe to the podcast. Oh my god. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. We're looking forward to, hopefully entertaining you guys next week. But for now,
Oh, I cracked my neck.
for now, we will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day, night, whenever the hell you're watching this. Just have a great rest of whatever. Have a great rest of that pizza you're eating. I see you eating pizza like a slob. Cold pizza.
Fuck.
Cold pizza straight out of the fridge. What's wrong with
Mixing
you?
it with fucking ranch.
It's delicious, but microwave that shit. There's gonna be someone that comments just like, holy shit, how did you know? Okay. I'm ending the recording before we go off on another side tangent. Bye-bye.